Now we come to the modern era of machine guns. And a very good example of the initial machine guns of this type is this M60. This used to be the main machine gun of the United States Armed Forces, as well as a few countries, a few other countries, until recently replaced a few years ago. This M60 is not, you cannot easily classify this as a heavy machine gun or light machine gun or medium machine gun. This is a whole new category. This is called a GPMG, otherwise known as General Purpose Machine Gun. What are the characteristics of the general purpose machine guns? They are, number one, much lighter. There, compared to that boat anchor. And number two, quick change barrel, which I shall illustrate later on this weapon. The first general purpose machine guns were developed by the Germans in World War II. And the coming out of these weapons rendered those Browning machine guns, especially the 30 caliber, obsolete. Now, the main characteristic of the GPMG is that it is so much easier for the soldier to use it in an assault position, while that the Brownings are very good for a defensive position. They really suck when you have to do the attack. This one is good on defensive and also very good on offensive. Okay. This weapon, the development of this weapon actually started in the late 1940s when the Americans, seeing the superiority of the German designs, decided to make their own. It took almost the better part of a decade, and however, it was finally came out in this form. As you can see, this is an original M60. This form came out in 1957 and proceeded to slowly replace all the M1919 Brownings in the American arsenal, so that by the time the Vietnam War started, the Americans became involved in the Vietnam War in a big way in 1965. This was already the main general purpose machine gun that they used. This was usually issued one per squad, no? And then this was usually given to the lowest ranked member of the rifle squad, since this was the heaviest. As is usually the case when not in fighting, whoever was carrying the machine gun hated this weapon for its weight. However, once the bullets started flying, everybody wanted this weapon. Okay. It usually took two people to operate this weapon. Usually called the gunner and the assistant gunner. The gunner obviously carries the gun, 22 pounds of steel and plastic. Depending on physical stature and strength, he could carry between 50 to, some say, 1,000 rounds on his person. While I doubt that's 1,000 rounds thing, however, I know of certain Americans who are very big, and it is not impossible. However, usually what the gunner carried was what they called a teaser belt, usually 30 to 50 rounds slung on the magazine, and the rest of the ammunition being carried by the assistant gunner. The assistant gunner also, aside from carrying the spare ammo, also carried the spare barrel. As I will demonstrate later, one of the salient features of the GPMG is the ability to quickly change barrels. Okay, now, as previously mentioned, the predecessor was the M1919A4 Browning, and then this was in service from 1957 until replaced by the M240G machine gun, M240B in 1998. This weapon, although you could think the designers would have learned from the German machine guns, which were very successful, is very controversial. Why? Because while it is a good design, it was far from perfect. And we will talk about the good points first. Now, the best part of this is that it is a true GPMG. It is easy to remove the barrel. Now, why would you want to remove the barrel in the middle of a gunfight? Well, the reason is that if you shoot this long enough rounds, you will melt off the grooves, the rifling of the barrel, and in doing so, you will ruin the machine gun. Now, when that happens, you have a very inaccurate machine gun that jams a lot. So you would want to replace the barrel after a sustained fight. One of the salient features of a general purpose machine gun is the ability to quickly change barrels, as mentioned previously. And the M60, as being a GPMG, has that feature. Now, to change barrels, usually you pull back first on the bolt. Here, there, and then raise it. There is a latch here that you press and then remove. You activate. Afterwards, pull up, and the barrel is out. You dispose of that as the spare barrel from the assistant gunner, and all you have to do to put it back is insert there, flip the switch there, barrel is stable, put down, it's ready to fire. Okay, another salient feature of the GPMG compared to that is that it was, as previously mentioned, much lighter. Being much lighter, it also makes people capable of carrying more ammunition and less strain on the gunner. Third is that, as you can see, compared to the other machine guns, is that the pistol grip being here, the ammunition feeds right on top of the pistol grip, making it a semi-bullpup design. This semi-bullpup design allows the weapon to be shouldered easily, this way, shot like a rifle. The ammunition is here instead of the usual in front. It is located right on top of your hand. It allows for a relatively short weapon and easy to control. Well, not really easy, but much better to control on full auto than previous machine guns. Okay, so far, those are the good things of this weapon. The bad things are outnumber it. No? Anyway, okay. Among the, this was the first time that the Americans tried to design a GPMG, a general purpose machine gun. And apparently, although they copied the German design, they did not get many things right. Okay, one common complaint was that this carrying handle. Now, as you can see, the carrying handle is supposed to be there for two purposes. One is to carry the weapon, and the second is supposed to be the ability to use the carrying handle to change the barrel. However, in this design, the carrying handle is not attached to the barrel. And so you have to use your hands to change a very hot barrel in the middle of combat. When this machine gun is issued, it usually comes with an asbestos glove, which we do not have. That is supposed to allow the gunner to change the barrel without burning himself. Now, carrying an extra item in combat, especially a glove, is not really a bright idea, and so that is considered to be one of the main faults of the M60. It was fixed in later versions, but the original version, like this, has it. The carrying handle is in the wrong place, number one. Number two, as you have seen, the barrel release mechanism is easy to activate. That's a good thing. That's also a bad thing. Why? In the middle of combat, or maybe in the jungle or whatever, sometimes it's easy to accidentally open that. And if you have cocked your gun like this, it's easy for the barrel to fall off. As you can see, I can easily remove it. No? So again, that was not a very smart design. Okay. Now, a third fault is that the bipod was placed on the barrel. So what's wrong with that? The thing is that if you place the bipod on the barrel, every spare barrel that you carry has a bipod also. So you are essentially carrying useless weight. The ideal solution for this, which came out in later versions of this M60, was to put the bipod on the receiver itself. No? So you carry only one bipod. You can carry 20 barrels, but you are carrying one bipod instead of carrying 20 barrels and also carrying 20 bipods. So I hope you see the point. That's another reason. Another bad thing is that, as you can see from here, some parts are wired. Now, do not laugh at this wire.